The Call of Duty League is presented by Zenni, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting zenni.com/gaming. Presented by USAA Renters Insurance, made to insure your gear in real life.
Welcome back to CDL Sunday. We came with 4, we are down to 3, battling for their share of the $500,000 prize purse. And we've got a rematch that was one of the most, if not the most entertaining series on the weekend. The last time they faced off, Joe, it was something. You and I casted it, it was wild.
Yeah, game 5, round 11, Ultra able to win both hardpoints. It was a crazy hardpoint comeback in game number 1. Then Empire really threw. Should have been a 3-0 for Empire, but Ultra, they're just, they do Ultra things, right? They're able to win the maps that just seems like impossible. Then they get to that game 5, just all the way around 11. Nice adjustments, and that's where their experience as a team really shine through.
So, Joe, I got a question for you. It was a Checkmate map 1, 100-point advantage for Empire when we saw one of the crazier comebacks on the year. What is the map 1?
It's Checkmate. It's hardpoint. Woo! That's what Ultra has been going with, and Empire, I'm sure they want another chance at it.
Yeah, I would think so. It was a collapse, and on one side, incredible comeback. It was a really fun map of hardpoint. There's few things that are more entertaining than like a 3-point hardpoint game. That scenario. There's few things more entertaining than a game 5 round 11. Last time we got both in that series. It was truly remarkable. Let's cut the crap. Let's meet the teams. We've got Empire going up against Ultra. First off, let's check out Toronto Ultra.
Try to get mad. Everybody wanna keep up. Don't you know I move too fast? I'ma zip right past. Drip all on my swag. Why you trying to size me up? You don't wanna try your luck. Hot as a stove, what did you know? Burn like coal, yeah, you know I go. Way too hot, yeah, really too cold. I'ma keep going till I hit my goals. Better get back when I'm in my zone. Do it for the ones that I know back home. Did it myself, they ain't put me on. Don't you go back if you hear that tone. Love the level.
Toronto Ultra looking to make another run from the losers bracket. And they got their win, Joe. In stage 2, how'd they get it done?
The losers, they just got right back to that final. Inside, they're saying hello. Marky as well. They're saying hello to everybody back
guys.
At home.
Hey,
how you doing? But they won another best of 9. They won another shot at Atlanta FaZe. They have the confidence to do so. It's just they're going up against a red-hot Dallas Empire team right now.
They certainly are. Many may not have had Empire in this position. Be a team facing off against Ultra. I think most thought, especially with the NYSL stuff going down, that we'd have Ultra and FaZe in the top 2. That was very logical, and we do. But Empire, they round out that top 3. But for Ultra, you've got Bance, Cammy, Kleenex, and Insight. Cammy, between last year and this year, has become one of my top 5 players to watch. When he is on a heater, it is just something of perfection.
No, he can take over a map. We've seen him multiple times throughout the year.
Unbelievable. He take over here, and he's going to have a tough test, though, when you think about the form. The ARs are in on the other side of it, but the guys get to their setups, getting ready to get locked in. And this is one of those situations where, they had to make that long run through losers last time where they were kind of going match to match. It's a little bit different that this time it's, Empire just won a match. Ultra has to deal with maybe a hot Dallas. But can Dallas keep it going? Can they keep the energy high? Can they keep the flow going? The plays were on point in the last series to eliminate OpTic. They've got another tough test here. Let's meet the squad, the hosts of Major 4, Dallas Empire.
Dallas Empire have smashed the gates open.
Fella with the round 1 ace.
Oh, it's a shot punch. Oh no! Once again, they saved the day.
Dallas Empire, an impressive victory to eliminate OpTic. They get the 3-1, and Joe, outside of their matchup versus Ultra, the hardpoint has been such an improvement for them this weekend. Just the respawns in general, and Crimsix looking good. Look at that stature.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, no, you're right. I think they're 5-1. They just lost that control. Outside of that, they won both hard points again against OpTic. The matches they've won, their respawns have really been strong. But the match they lost both hardpoints to Ultra. So obviously one was, I think, a throw. But they played Apocalypse. They outplayed on Apocalypse. But the good thing about a rematch, you can switch up the maps, the Vitas a little bit differently. We have some different ones thrown in here.
Crim, iLLeY, Shotzzy, and Vivid. Can they make it to a final? The Empire team, they're in the first final of the year. Since then, it's been about, I guess, kind of rebuilding, restructuring, trying to get to a point they found at the end last year where they were the best team in the game as they took home the inaugural World Championship for the Call of Duty League. But let's get right to the game fuel. Keys to victory. Joe, take me through Empire. Well,
first things first, if you have the opportunity to close out the game, don't allow a comeback to happen. In Search and Destroy, be a little bit quicker to adjust to the defensive strategies. I think Ultra took advantage of that, and that's just due to experience, but you're going to learn a lot from that. So, in game 2 and 5 here, be a little bit quicker. And then Shotzzy and Vivid, carry that momentum from the series that they just had against OpTic and take advantage, with that momentum early on in the match. Clinix Advance have not been great at this major. Shotzzy positive every single map against OpTic that we just watched. My man is in MVP form right now.
Yeah, there's always that conversation around who has the advantage, the team waiting and prepping, the team coming hot off a series. You could talk about it for hours. But yeah, I think the key is you just finished a series, you're feeling hot, come in and win that map 1. Get off to the right foot. For Toronto Ultra, though, Joe, what were your keys to victory?
Well, the subs need to step it up. They've only had 2 games. One versus Empire goes all the way game 5, and the FaZe one. But the fact is when they won the major, Bans and Clinix were at their best. You need to see that today. Current control round, they've lost both of them here. And they were undefeated in stage 4 prior to that. Now, both were in game around 5, but they have lost that. And then Cammy needs to match Empire Superstar. In the win versus Dallas, 1.34. In the loss to FaZe, 1.13. He needs to keep that up, stay consistent, and as we've said, the man is just an absolute monster.
Yeah, a 1.13 versus FaZe is pretty darn good, honestly.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because when we look at it sometimes and, stats are so poor, sometimes it's just because a couple matches versus FaZe, they can turn the tides of what it looks like for your stats on the year. But let's go through the maps and modes. We know they played a 5-game series, Joe. What's going to be the same here?
Well, the same here is going to be that Checkmate, the Garrison, and then the Moscow. But really what you're looking at is 2 and 4. For Dallas, they're switching it up with their Search and Destroy. We're playing Standoff. For Ultra, they are not going to that, or we're not going to that Apocalypse in game 4. We're going to go to Moscow. So it's really changes around Dallas and what they want to play.
We'll see if the changes have a benefit for Empire to try and get the win after Ultra knocked them to the lower bracket earlier. But what a series it was. Vivid hasn't been on this team long, but a lot is being asked of him in the upcoming matchups. If they're going to go through the top 2 teams in the game, in Ultra and FaZe, everyone has got to be lights out on point, and they do it.
Well, we're starting off with Checkmate. This is 250 to 247 in the winners round 2 game. This is where the comeback happened. Dallas starting on the good side. Can they get that early lead? For Ultra, bust this one wide open. And Ultra has been one of those teams where they have been in this situation where, they have to wait around a little bit. You're waiting for that first game to really get into it. And they typically respond well. They're usually able to get themselves locked in and in that zone. And they do that here.
Well, who finds that zone first? So we're off to the races. Our opening hard point. Shotzzy tries to hit the movement and get in, but Clinix already ready and waiting. He's just going to thrust right on through the plane, almost send it to locate a third. As it was go, go, go for Clinix off the opening break.
Yeah, well,
Cammy,
you see what
to
this
your
does.
POV. Woo.
Well, Crim goes down. He was just trying to hold on to the spawns. Map already flipped. And while they get on through, that is a perfect start for Ultra. As well, for Dallas Empire, you wanted to strike early. That's not going to happen.
Just flawless from Ultra. Not a point for Empire. You've gotten the spawns, but now a dicey moment maybe. As all 4 have gotten pushed up to the plane, you do get a safe spawn for 2 of the players. 1 will spawn out. That'll be Clinix that's going to have to track across the map because the new hardpoint going to pop here in 5 seconds. But Insight and Cammy stepping up big when they need to. Really, Shotzzy, the remaining player in an aggressive position, and Clinix will pick it up as he tracks back.
Yeah, Clinix now in a great spot to just cut off the reinforcements for Empire and their next push. You got 10 seconds off the clock. You just got to the plane, and you're still getting taken down. So that early kind of like split spawn and then Cammy holding on. It allows, well, I thought it would allow Cleanex to deal with a majority of it, but Shotzzy just right through the front, able to take down 2 as he wins some gunfights, breaking up a lot of this time. Again, Shotzzy so good this weekend, keeps it going. Needs the rest of the squad though, and well, he just doesn't have them.
Well, I mean, I was kind of curious where the spawn was going to come in. I think since Empire spawned top left first, and you had 1 player remaining on Ultra, they still get that safe spawn, even with Shotzzy on the point. I wasn't sure where they were going to go, but it was open, and they spawned in the back, so they're able to battle back in very quickly in a moment that really could have led to a big swing. Ends up still being time for Ultra.
Yeah, it could have been a tied game, or yeah, maybe even Dallas breaking that. Instead, yeah, 50 points. They started off on bad side. Well, they have control of the next hill as well. Dashy trying to find any openings that he can, but Cleanex much better so far. And what you wanted to see, again, when they won Major 2, Cleanex and Bance were frying.
Yeah, they have the ability to take over as they're trying to do that right now. Cleanex at 8 and 5, 3 kills through, making 4 for Ultra as all of Empire battle back off a spawn. It's a hot, perfect start from Ultra as they look to lock down this map 1. Let's go to an Astro listen-in with Toronto Ultra.
Crim and tube, front tube, one shot, front tube, one shot.
Yeah. Just trying to stay alive.
Top left wing, top lane.
Go meet one on the right.
Yeah.
I'm zero stars.
No. Smoke. I'm on a streak.
I spawn P2. They're gonna. Could be wood.
Give me blue. Here, I'm pushed up.
Top
on the right.
Exodus stacks.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
plane, yeah, Vivid, push through plane. Shotzzy under plane, Shotzzy under plane.
There's two on the plane.
I can do it. One's top plane, one's on the right wing, Shotzy's on the plane as well. They're gonna hit me mid.
Help him.
One more, he's in the mid box, mid close box.
Oh, there's 2
Play
close.
left, you need to block.
Oh, shit.
You're good.
From that, listen, hold, play tight, I'm making a pitch, okay? I'm going around left. Okay, yeah. Play this tight now, let's play this tight.
I don't have a trophy. They could be top, okay?
Yeah, okay. This tight, I'm deep left.
I'm on
top. Under plane, I think. Under plane, Vivid, I'm trying to stay alive.
It'll die.
Nice, good shit.
Could be top.
One more left side, Shotzzy dead.
Top plane.
They're gonna flip.
We can cabin. In cabin. Town out left. He's already jumped down, Cam.
Okay, has he? I'm watching it. Top right. Top right, I need one right. One more shot,
Help him.
I'm getting time. Top left, iLLeY.
I can help him.
I don't know.
Play for him.
Top plane on me.
Those three absolute.
Kill me, top plane.
Dominate street.
Where's he gone, do you know?
Behind the box.
No. We need to play our lives. Just spawn out, play our lives.
No,
I spawned in.
Okay, I'll make the play. Yeah, no. I think we're good.
You want to
the cross?
No.
There was one more.
Could be
new. Okay, yeah.
Try and get your
My
plane.
cross.
Could be top plane.
Well, Joe, I mean, it's nearly the opposite score of the first time these guys played. As Empire were dominating, Ultra made the comeback. Empire, maybe it's their turn to give Ultra a taste of their own medicine, but the rally's going to need to start soon because the lead approaching 100, about to eclipse that. They're set up in the point with 40 seconds remaining. It's all Ultra. It's so Ultra so far.
I mean, you just heard in that listen, very calm. The comms on point. They know where the last players are. Right, this player's over here. He already dropped down. They're taking care of it. But the big thing is they are all just slaying. Look at the top right.
Well,
everybody in double digits. They're going to be at 180 points if they get the rest of this time. After the first rotation, you already have Cammy working up the top side of the map, trying to get his team into the first one. This could be a very quick hard point. Cammy, he finds another kill. They're going to rotate to P1. They're already going to be inside. This is just flawless checkmate from Toronto Ultra.
And that's why sometimes I think just by fans, that whole, oh, this team's hot off of a victory thing is a little overplayed. That does have an impact sometimes, sure, but Ultra were sitting and waiting, warming up. Empire just had an incredible win. This is the map 1. If they were going to take advantage, it's now, and they are getting blown off the map.
No, and Toronto is one of the few teams I've seen really do this. Like that, to have that mindset of just come out and fry. It's not easy to do, right? Especially when a team just played a match. They're in that tournament mode. The adrenaline's pumping. But Ultra and maybe the band's breathing techniques, it has paid off.
Yeah.
They still have this 150-point lead, trying to rotate on over to the second hill. They have the spawns right now. They're just trying to take their time and deal with it, and deal with that they do.
I mean, this is the moment here. If you're Empire, if there is going to be the miracle comeback like we saw from Ultra, it's the break on this upcoming point where it's got to be perfect. But Ultra continue to find the kills efficiently. I mean, you got 200 points on the board. 15 and 10 from Cammy. Bance is triple positive on 5 in a row. I mean, this has just been a bloodbath, a massacre, whatever adjective you want to describe to somebody getting smoked. Ultra doing it to Empire in this map 1.
I mean, we're on the 7th hill right now. They're about to win on the 7th hill. They can win right here. I mean, Insight on another spree, Cammy on another spree. Both of their ARs are double positive. Bance has died 6 times. Kleenex is +7. Insight's been hanging on the hill for 2 minutes. I mean, this is what he does. He's living his best life.
One of the more dominant hard points you will ever see is the ping will come in. The call will come in. 2 will drop. As Empire get buried in this map 1. If they're going to do anything, it's got to be now. They can win it on this point. They got to sort through. But Ultra making a statement. They stomp the hometown heroes in map 1, 250 to 69. What a result for Ultra.
Unbelievable. Right from the break, they get that flip. They're able to get that lead. They keep it around 60 points. They just got every money hill on the first rotation. Then when you're thinking if you're Dallas, like, wait, you could chain P1 and P2 together. Sight, that is when Cammy finds multiple kills. They get into the plane. They flip spawns again. Well, 4 straight wins on Checkmate Hardpoint. Their last 9, 8 and 1 on this map.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I get going there again, considering if you're Empire, you're thinking, we were up 100 points. Like, we should have closed that out. We threw it away. But on the other side, if you're Ultra and you've been so good at that map mode lately, you're like, we had a slow start. We still brought it back. It's not going to happen again. It is the total opposite. When they needed to put Empire away, they put them 6 feet under the dirt. Just stomped them out.
Could have been a lot. It was much deeper.
However
They kept
deep
going.
you can get with a shovel. Just shoveling them, tossing them in, covering them in the dirt, Joe.
That's what happened. I mean, stats, one side really good, the other side really bad.
Oh, what a map 1 it was. But we have seen so many times this weekend. You know, whether it's a convincing map 1, whatever it is, we've seen so many teams respond so well in Search and Destroy and tie up the series. That task now falls to Empire. But Ultra, a statement in that first map, trying to fight back into a final with FaZe. We continue on with the Search and Destroy after the quick break.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Zenny, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Zenny Block's blue light protection glasses by visiting zenny.com/gaming.
We are celebrating the COD League Stage 4 Major with a giveaway. We've got one winner that's going to win a CDL controller of their choice. Now, all you have to do is retweet this tweet, follow Scump Gaming, tag a friend, ends today at the end of broadcast. So if you want a chance to win a Scump controller, do it. They're phenomenal. I used one. Joe used this one. You want to get involved. But aside from the giveaway, Joe, it's back to the match. Vance, maybe the meditation we've seen him doing, the focus, the breathing exercises helped him I don't know, dominating the map one when they're coming into a hot team like Empire, whatever it was, impressive stuff. But let's look at Toronto Ultra and their KD rank so far in the majors.
Well, I mean, you can obviously see the first two much better. Major 3, they didn't play that many games. They still get top 4, but you can see right now in Major 4, they're sitting around 7th. And again, only a couple of matches under their belt, but much better. As slaying as an entire team is, that might be one of the best Checkmate Hardpoints we've watched. I think maybe you could look back at like an early OpTic one, maybe being a little bit better than that, but that's about it. That was perfection by Toronto Ultra.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot more impressive later in the title, right? When everyone, because some people, when it comes to any mode, they're a little bit slower at learning it. We see that every single year, but at this point in the year, we're deep now. To get a win like that against another good team, that might be one of the most impressive hard points we've seen the entire year, without question.
Now Empire, I mean, you just gotta fight back here because this is your S&D pick. You're going to Standoff where you're 2-1. And I know that they were able to beat Ultra in Control, and Control hasn't been the best at this major for Toronto, but they're still one of the best in the game at it. And I do not want to be down 0-2 going into that game mode. At least get to your hardpoint map pick, you know what I mean? Like, try to extend this series here.
This is where we saw, I mean, Ultra was just dominating FaZe, right, last night? And granted, we haven't seen a ton from FaZe on this particular map, but it looked great. Well, it's going to be fast. Right to the A site. You see Shotzzy with bomb. He's already moved up. This plant is going down. Vance, though, with the check. Shotzi's going to hop off it for a second. So no plant through as Empire trying to get set up by the site.
He's one of like the few objective like bomb planners that does that. You'll see him try to find an opening in multiple maps. You see him in Miami. He just kind of goes early on where he thinks there's going to be an opening and plants the bomb quickly. Bomb planted 3v3. Trying to watch him work through the flank. Able to get that trade, but at least Vivid found one. Now iLLeY, he's just going to watch the spawn. The other two players though, Shotzzy, Crim. They're defending the bomb, but Cammy, he's not missing right now. Shotzzy trying to do the Shotzzy dance, but he is 1 HP. There is the trade. Cammy opens up the round, and now the defuse.
Well, it ended up being perfect. You know, they had somebody on the bench. There was nowhere for Shotzzy to go. Like, if they're both on one side there, maybe he can scramble away and make a play, but he's weak, tries to run away. Ultra's got the position, nowhere to go. But, I mean, brilliant opener from Cammy, too, because, you know, that player, Second Story and Vivid can kind of stretch that out. He just gets his head clean off.
Yeah, no, 100%. You know, if they're not able to take him down, that player finds the right timing while they're working the middle of the street. It's done. You have that crossfire coming in. Crim was behind the bomb. They get to defuse. Nice retake. Now Ultra back on offense.
Yeah, he just didn't. I don't even know if he could have reacted to that and like back down. His head, it was just plain headshots with a crick. He just
nothing you could do.
Yeah, it's just smoke. I mean, we'll talk about over challenge sometimes taking fights you shouldn't. Like that's just he has got smoke. We'll pop out to show you a view of the whole map. There's two players working back alley right now for Empire. That's going to be the subs in Vivid and Shotzzy.
They're kind of hanging out. And obviously both of these teams playing this at the major, so you're going to have some VOD review to kind of work off of. Maybe try to counter some early pushes. Maybe that's the setup from Vivid and Shotzzy, but one kill in from Crim, and then a trade right away by Insight. Went to a 3v3.
I think both players get lit there. Is that a wallbang through? That was Shotzzy just backed up, right? All right, Insight with the insight through that wall. Right onto the forehead of Shotzzy. And they'll close out the round. Insight making that look easy. I mean, it's one thing to just wallbang someone to like two bullet them in the face. Okay, all right.
Well, no, he was weak from Cammy, but I mean, that is just a prediction.
It's just
right where he needs to put the shots in. Plus, Insight getting the trade on the Crim. Insight winning Ultra that round as he finds. Well, that's the ace. An ace for Insight.
Ooh. What an impressive one it was. Insight making an impact and search and destroy the second he got into the Pro League. Showing you some fancy footwork and gunshots there. 2-0 Ultra so far. It's been a weekend of answering back after losses. Empire need this win badly, but already in an 0-2 hole.
Again, it's kind of just Shotzzy working the bomb by himself. You can see how much they are worried about the flank. You have kind of iLLeY and Crim playing a little bit deep, but they're just going right to the bomb. And Shotzzy's kind of by himself. Shotzzy's just going to get traded. He doesn't have any help. Vivid's all the way back alley worrying about the flank. And there's the adjustment that Ultra throw at him. They just stack the bomb. They trade on Shotzzy. They don't let him make a play.
Well, that's been the thing that stood out for teams like them and FaZe, right? Mid-game adjustments, but Crim able to bring it back 3-3. A bomb, obviously, in a precarious position there. Ultra have eyes on it. How are you going to recoup that? It's going to take some crazy plays from
just
Empire.
Not missing.
Yeah, Insight is a cannon. Just a cannon.
Looking much comfortable on the stage. Bomb being planted. He's one away for some streaks. Clayster, though, finds the opening. Crim, though, left in a 1v2. He's got some time to work with. He's going to see one player cross. That's Insight. Insight, maybe with his bomb defuse, going to find that artillery, but Ultra giving them hell. Just all of the adjustments, finding the mid-round picks. It's just a little bit more to work towards that artillery, but a 3-0 lead in map number 2.
Yeah, and you'd love in scenarios late like that to like set him up for it, but you just can't in the 1v2. Not with Crim, not after he beam one. Like, just get the kill.
Yeah, win the round. Win the round.
Win the round, 100%. It's different when it's, you know, like a 4v1 and you hunt him down, but that just close it out. But 6-0. Quite literally perfect. Like map 1, Ultra perfect. Map 2, Insight perfect. Just quality out of the young men.
A lot of aggression here. Shotzzy taking the gunfights, trying to switch up the pace. The next is weak from an 8. Is there a trade? iLLeY's got to back down, and with that 8, he's able to get away with his life. So a nice play by Clayster to make this into a 3v3. And Dallas have done a good job at this, trading early in the rounds, but it's the next part where they've really gotten caught by Ultra. In these 3v3 scenarios, Ultra have taken advantage of the map being open, and, well, that's why they're up 3-0.
iLLeY hops over. Insight ready and waiting. That's number 7. That's the first streak. Crim, can he be the equalizer? The other 2 will get out. Vivid's going to try and catch this. Insight's actually going to get the ping. Bance, he's right next to you. He's right next to you. He actually gets away. I thought Vivid was caught for sure, or maybe catching Bance. That was going to be that was kind of a wild sequence.
Yeah, I thought Vivid was going to get both of them, but he stopped in the doorway. Insight now up to 8-0. He's got the streaks. He spots another one. Why not? Pull it out. Smokes him in the middle of the courtyard. 9-0 from Insight.
Truly special and remarkable stuff out of Insight. Completely and utterly taking over this map.
Was he even weak, or was that all just headshots? What?
I don't know at this point. There's nothing Insight can't do. But I got to think, Joe, you were kind of talking about the mid game, right? And, you know, when you have a new player in Vivid, I know he's been there a little while now, but setting up the opening strats, right? Or opening setups and positions and search, like that can come quickly. But it's hard to prep for that mid game. It's difficult to do. That's where Ultra should have the advantage.
No, 100%. I mean, that's where they have. Yeah, early in the round, it's been trades, and then in those 3v3s, the 3v2s, that's where Ultra has found every advantage. But it's not like they're like out-strategizing them. It's just them finding. Yeah, I think it's just them being quicker, committing to things, being on the same page, always together. When they push up back alley, Insight's watching over them. It's just the teamwork of Ultra is on point right now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't apply to every map, every scenario, but I've always been sometimes it doesn't matter what you're doing, what the strat is, as long as you're doing it together and well. Like, as long as the comps are on point and you're on the same page, you can pull some crazy scenarios out. And right now, Ultra, well, they're playing together, that's for sure. Second streak going to come in. Crim trying to get away, and he does, so he'll live. We'll still have 4 up from either side. His Empire trying to stop this perfect game from Insight. They'll get the plant down at B.
Yeah, they're working B, but behind him, Cammy and Clayster trying to find an opening. I think he does. Cammy's up top. This might be a freebie for either. It'll be a freebie for Cammy. What a timing that was. Clayster working in the middle of the street again. iLLeY, he gets spotted, and now, just like that, it's down to Shotzzy, and he's down 11-0.
Oh my God, Joe, if he goes perfect this game, like 15-0, you have to get Insight tattooed on your right thigh.
Okay, I could do that. It'll be right next to my other tattoo.
The Maven one? Yeah.
No, it's actually temporary. Gaming is forever. I got the same one as made.
Oh, what a clinic this is from Ultra and Insight. I think I myself and most people at home, even though Ultra has been the better team all year, after that win for Empire and their improvements, you know, I thought we were going to have ourselves a series, and maybe we still will, but these first two maps have not been competitive whatsoever.
No, not at all. They really haven't. I mean,
no. Well, it's like a pro team playing an AM team right now. Like they are just destroying them.
We had a crazy comeback game 1, game 2. You had the bounce back game from Empire. Right now, you have Insight, who's 11-0.
So
100-point clubbed. Yeah.
Not that this stat is like the most important one, but the biggest like perfect game we've had this year was TJ's 12-0. That's the highest we've had, and I just don't think there's gonna be enough rounds for Insight to push this any further. Well, maybe. Oh, Insight dropped. He was one of the two that fell. So that perfect game is done. 2 versus 2 now in round 6. Nice win from Crim. Finally, Empire get around on the board.
Well, I like what they did with the streaks. They did the same thing with the cruise missile. As soon as he calls that in, they know that what Empire has to hide from it. So what does that open? That opens up a lot of the routes. Back alley, middle of the street. And Cammy and Kleenex, they found openings, and they found openings in that round, but Empire able to find the kills. Well, as you said, they take down the final boss in Insight, at least for a round.
Joe, how many kills do Bance, Cammy, and Kleenex have together?
That's 11.
Yeah, Insight has 11. So he's got as much as the rest of the 3 combined. That's not usually something you're going to see.
He has as much as all of Dallas.
Oh,
the entire team.
Oh, that's 11 too. Oh, numbers are crazy.
Crazy. iLLeY doesn't have any.
Well, that's tough. That's actually wild that both of them added up to 11. Oh, it might mean something, Joe. Something's in the stars.
I don't know what it would be, but
I know.
I was gonna say like a game 11, but it's a best of 9 in the final, so that's probably not it.
No idea where I was going with that. But I appreciate you sticking with me. 4 versus 4 now on the retake for Ultra as the bullets start flying here by the site. Crim follows it up. Fan soars on in. Another 2 versus 2 with 25 seconds on the clock.
You have a lot of angles, though, to work with if you are Dallas. You have both Krieg players alive. Okay, iLLeY just trying to go for a jump, and while Insight was there for him, now down to a 1v1. Bance trying to do what he can, but not a lot of time to work with. I think iLLeY's going to spot him. He does from up top. So 2 rounds in a row, and they finally get that offense they were looking for. How many times has Shotzzy gone to A, trying to get a quick plant down? Doesn't have. What, did iLLeY not get a kill? Shoot, but
yes,
they get the
I was
round
thinking
win.
like I was gonna say he's clutching rounds still. Doesn't have a kill, which is still the case here. But I just didn't want to see him get to 0-7 now.
Yeah,
iLLeY,
still got another round though. He's got another one.
Yeah. What's actually the? I mean, I know iLLeY's just having a rough map. I'm not trying to like rub it in more, but let's take the worst like in whatever map we've ever had in Search. Can't think of it. Probably something around.
There's Nicky D. That's a Nicky D stat right there. I'm pretty sure he has an 0-9, 0-10, but they won. I'm pretty sure it was around 11 they won.
That.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Oh.
My man is infamous for a couple of things.
What
now
year?
it's Ghost.
Ghost, that's right. Wow. Well, the plant is in for Ultra. They can close it out here. First blood for Cammy. Ant's going to go ahead and back up. iLLeY looking for his first in the game. It could be a big one. There it is. iLLeY's on the board. But still, numbers to Ultra and time dwindling. The retake has got to happen now for Crim and iLLeY. They're going to send it. iLLeY will fall. Crim last alive. Nowhere to go as Bance wraps things up. And another dominant victory for Toronto Ultra. They are up 2-0 and dismantling Dallas Empire.
Well, I think the big thing here in map 2 is the way they just limited Shotzzy and Vivid. 2 of the active players on Empire. You saw what they were trying to do. Every single route they took, they were ready for. They found the openings. They didn't allow them to get picked apart. And in those mid rounds, in the 3v3s, the small skirmishes, it was Insight, it was Cammy. They were always ready for what Empire were throwing at them. They are, that was a beautiful standoff to watch.
It absolutely was. And this is what we want to see. Like, if someone's going to be FaZe right now in the form they're in, they have got to be playing close to perfect Call of Duty. And Ultra right now, they're as close to perfection as you get through these two maps. They've been so good. Now, don't count Empire out. Maybe they're going to be able to pull this one back. It's tough right now because the two maps have been so dominant.
Oh, and again, you're going to Control where Ultra is just so strong. And I know Empire won the Control last time they played in round 5. Just tough to see that happen with Ultra playing this way. But you're right, Ultra, I think even if you look at that winners final, they had a great teamwork, but it was the individual players from FaZe that bailed them out of it, and that's what they can do. But right now, you're getting even the individual plays on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, that is what you need, the combination of the two if you're going to take down the top squad in the game. But they're not there yet. They need another map victory. As we checked out the Astro social soundboard, yes, Brandon, we agree. They are all frying, especially Insight in that map too. It was impressive stuff with the 11-0 start. Just picking them apart. The mid-round adjustments and plays were truly spectacular. But let's check out our U.S. Army tactical plays. We're going to get to, I'm imagining, I believe that's the ace round from Insight, as he is finding all the kills. Terrific stuff.
Yeah, and this is one of those 3v3s, and they think they have an opening. iLLeY's just like, all right, I'm going to hop on over this. Let's set up a pinch with Crim. But Insight's watching over him. Now, this time he's a little crazy. He calls in the artillery. Vivid hears that. He's like, all right, I got to back away. But if he would have kept going, he might have found both kills. So now you're into this 2 versus 2. And immediately the call is go towards this A bomb. He's watching over his teammate. Crim, he's going to get picked on this cross. And in this shot right here, well, yeah, he doesn't shoot. This is one burst. He just one bursted him in the face.
That's disgusting and quite unfortunate for the player on the receiving end. Ultra on point. Ultra are dominant. One map away from another trip to a grand final. Quick break, and we're back with the Control.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the US Army. What's your warrior? USAA is made for gamers. Level up your gear protection with USAA insurance.
Sign up for the official Call of Duty League emails and get the exclusive Syndic calling card. Scan the QR code on your screen, enter your info, and you'll get a free code for the calling card. You cannot get this calling card anywhere else. It's available in Black Ops, Cold War, and Warzone. So some exclusive stuff going down in the broadcast. Grab it, show it off. But we're going to talk a little bit about rookies and their impact this year. It's been so impressive what some have been able to do, and we're showing this because of all the map 2 that Insight just had.
Yeah, I just look at those first 4 players, honestly, and the impact that they have had. Paul has been great for London, but not the results they wanted. I mean, Insight, they won a major. HyDra right away, they get to a major final. Standy, he's really turned around Røkkr, and then Neptune, what a weekend. You know, it's not the major that he wanted, but individually, he was disgusting.
Yeah, no, he certainly was. And I did get it from, you know, when we were talking about the biggest goose egg, I was curious. For the CDL, we're talking just the last 2 years. It is actually, it's kind of funny. It's on the Ultra team. It's Bance at 0-8. We were going far further back for the classic one. But yeah, I think that was like an 0-11 or something, which is truly special stuff.
And he won. So it doesn't matter. That's what's even better about it. That's like the best part about it.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. I mean, that's one of the more wild statistics ever. But Vivid on your screen, him, Prim, clapping it up. They got to heat it up if they're going to bring this back and pull off the reverse sweep. We had a Game 5 thriller last time. It seems improbable, given how the first 2 maps have gone. But if Empire can get it flowing and slow down the hot Ultra, they can do it.
Yeah, they're going to be starting on offense. Maybe kind of what we saw from OpTic in the series. Can they win a round 1 offense? But this time, Dallas needs to be able to do that. And again, they won this map. So they know that they can do it. But for me, it's you got to get these subs going because I just feel like, obviously, map 1, they didn't really have a chance. Map 2, those 2 players just trying to find any openings. And what Insight, Cammy, they've just said no so far. So can Vivid and Shotzzy put pressure on Toronto Ultra? That's what I'm looking out for throughout this map.
They have to. They absolutely have to. And get it rolling on offense first. How massive it can be if they can strike. And they've already got... Oh, I was going to say maybe 3 down there, which they ultimately do, but some big kills from Bance and Cammy. Well, really, it turned into kind of a 1v1 mid-map, which Vivid is able to take.
Yeah, the trade's going down. There's a little opening. Vivid able to stay alive, but Insight just right down in the middle of the map. Empire still holding strong. You have Shotzzy on the point, pausing that clock. Almost a tick of progress done. iLLeY going to back him up.
We know Empire's a team. They want to be aggressive. They want to push the tempo. I just, unfortunately, I mean, the same can be said on the other side. Like that's where Ultra live, right? Like they want to keep it moving, play as aggressive as possible, take the gunfights. And so far in this matchup, it is going the way of Ultra's. Cammy still alive around the B objective. Starting to try. That's an ambitious gunfight. Wait, Vivid had 1 too.
But he's got the better position. No, you are right, but I think Ultra does a really good job, and we've touched on it and featured it, of they slow down, though, at certain moments, and then after those kills, that's when they fly. I think they do it better than any other team in the league. They know when they have to full stop. They make you look for you, and then they win those gunfights, and that's when their brilliance really shines.
So kind of that change of pace and the zero hesitation to pick things up. Be tough to deal with for the opposition, but with 20 seconds remaining on this, Stewart eye time for Empire is they're trying to find an opening. There's at least 1 kill through. They get 2. Oh, nice little snapback, but just too weak to win it. But that was ultimately going to be 4 down, if a little bit staggered. So Empire get onto the point, look to extend the time, and they're able to do that. So they're only going to have 1:05 to work with, but lives-wise, I guess it's closer than I kind of felt it was.
Yeah, no, Empire just with that, quick start, putting over match control, and then bouncing back right there. Now is when the difficult part. You have to get over to this A zone. You don't have a lot of pushes. With 11 lives, it's really about around 2. And now it's only 10. So, like, 2 4-man pushes for those numbers just deplete. And then you have the clock to work against. But here we go. Shotzzy just trying to stay alive in that corner. Able to do so, but the nade is there to take care of him. And Bance, he gets away with his life as Cammy finds that multi-kill. Almost finds number 3.
Yeah, he'll get shut down, but hell, getting 2 was enough considering the current situation they're in. It staggers the push, resets it for Empire. Now they're grouping up together. 2 hitting through the back, 2 trying to fly towards green. Well, actually, it's going to be a split. 1 green, 1 bricks. Here's the push. Maybe the final one. 12 seconds to go. 6 lives remaining for Empire. Vivid is here. Prim, I thought it looked like his POV. He might get a kill on one of the spawners, but he actually ends up dropping. And now can he even get into it with 0.5? They do, but the kill is in. And it's a round 1 victory for Ultra.
Yeah, Vivid's able to stay up right there in bricks. He can isolate that player at Satellite. Basically, he would just be trying to get the players rotating into that zone and hoping his teammates top green could win the 1v2. But with him dropping, the players top green, they run into multiple players, have to slide on through. It's just difficult. So a nice job by Toronto Ultra finding those kills with Vivid trying to lurk on through bricks.
2 more rounds, and Ultra get to another final. what most expected, given the circumstances for NYSL. But you never know how it's going to play out. Back to LAN. Maybe somebody makes a run, but we're getting real close to it being the two teams we thought it would be. The two top teams in the game at this moment. Unless Empire can, unless there's some total shift in this series. And it was such a battle to get that B point for Empire, right? Like you had like 5 seconds left. It's gonna be done. You're gonna have 2 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. That is about as high as you're ever going to see it.
Well, and remember when we watched them the first time, they rarely had that. That's what we really focused on, is the fact that they were trying to split push a lot of the times. They didn't leave it just to they were trying to get both points done. They never set this up. They were never set this up. Now they finally do. And you can see how well they are at transitioning from A to B, or sorry, B to A. Vivid at least takes down 2, allow his teammates to get back into the fight. Shotzzy trying to work the flank, able to do so. So Dallas, they get that control back, but it was close. It was very close from Toronto having full control of the map.
Yeah, I mean, they got that first point. They only lost 1 player. I think it was like a 29 to 25 life differential. So that was, I mean, as clean as it gets in the opening of the offense, but the harder part still to do is Vivid lurks underground, pops up behind CleanX. Chance will be the next fight, and you can see how difficult that one is. Not a fun gunfight whatsoever. Oh yeah, that's not fun. Oh god,
barrel.
He's on fire.
Stop, drop, and roll, just trying to stay alive, still lurking throughout the middle of the map. This is Ultra just being patient, taking their time. They get very disciplined. His Bans is able to find 2. Now off of this is when they're going to make their push. You do have Crim lurking light side. He might have found a really good timing to find 2. At least finds 1. And this entire time, Cammy is waiting to see when is the opening. Don't think it's going to happen right here because his teammates are all dead, but CleanX is trying to do what he can.
Well, the fact, I mean, Crim is going huge, just winning some fights here. He only got 1, but I thought CleanX getting 2, maybe it buys some time to get the reinforcements there, get on the point, apply some pressure, but it gets staggered once again by Crim mid-map. Now you get set up again, 50 seconds to go. Lives getting closer and closer. Is Empire making a stronghold here defensively, finding the key kills when they need to.
Yeah, but here come Cammy and CleanX again, setting this up. Cammy just waiting for his teammates to get through there. Pants almost made a play right before this life to just fly on through. Almost finds that time. And when him and CleanX getting a bricks in this area right now, they are so difficult to take down. You still have another push. It'll be the last push of the round, but they've gotten a lot of pressure on Empire. Empire, though, have held strong.
When you think about it from an objective standpoint and officer defense, I mean, they've accomplished the same thing. Just cleaner from Ultra on the first point, but they haven't got any progress onto A. There has always been a player left to make a play and step up for Empire. 3 seconds to go. Someone's got to contest. 2 kills through for Empire, and that'll close out the round. So despite how different getting the opening points was, the result from an objective standpoint and a round standpoint, exactly the same.
Well, and it's just that one play, Vivid finding 2 with that stick. That is the play of the round for me, because if he dies there, there's 3 Ultra members on the zone. They're going to stack it. It's going to go quick. And all the pressure would be on Empire to have to retake. But he was able to get the stick. He runs away with his life. He gets another kill top green. Allows his team to win the numbers battle on the zone. They retake it. And then from there was a good couple of pushes from Ultra, but they never found an opening.
Well, could be defense, defense, defense forever. Unless somebody is able to get that opening and actually take advantage of it. Let's see if Empire can have a better start. When it comes to the objective, well, Vivid's trying to make sure they do. There's 2, and right into bricks he will go. Trying to put pressure towards A, but Cammy is still lurking by satellite. iLLeY's gotten onto the objective. That'll stop the clock, as the first bit of progress will finish. Cammy, though, will have a flank here in a moment.
Cammy's always been that last guy. On offense, he's the last one just waiting top green, waiting for his teammates. On defense, he's the one, look, he just goes right back over to A, make sure nobody slips on through. He's controlling top green the entire time. It's really Cammy's clubhouse right now. That's exactly where he wants to be.
I like that. It's got a nice ring to it, Joe.
Yeah, Cammy's clubhouse.
Well, Crim, 2 line up right in front of him. Trying to take another fight. Insight, you kind of saw through X-ray. Backing it the whole way up, waiting for his teammates to come in, and his teammates get there, and 1 drops instantly. 2 on the point now to start to move B along with 43 left to go. And still, there's just never been a huge separation in the lives. I think like 4 or 5 has been the difference. Otherwise, it's been pretty tight throughout.
On one side, on offense, it was very quick from Ultra. On the other side, every single time, it's very exaggerated. It's taking a while. They did it last time. It was with 5 seconds left in the round. They're trying to do it again at B. 1 tick needed. They're going to be on the point. That's going to be Vivid waiting for his teammates. Yeah, they've just never given up map control, but Ultra, they're not giving up this B point either.
It's not done. It just needs a sliver, but Bance is contesting. Can somebody close it out without giving anything up on this point? That might be the question. That might be the difference for round 5, but not going to happen there. There will be the final point through. Give them a minute. 3 life advantage for Empire. They try to transition this across. There's a couple players coming off a spawn, and Shotzzy's making the play. iLLeY and Crim through on the kill feed. Everybody dead but Kleenex. Kleenex, the lone soldier alive on the point, will drop. Onto the point, go Empire, desperately looking for the offensive round. 3 are there. They can do this, stack the point.
Showing quick, they're close to 2. Nades coming in, they deal with the trophy. They have time though. They have time. Who's lurking though? Who is lurking? Oh, it's about hello. That's a hello.
Oh, wow! He just gave him a little kiss on the cheek.
What was that?
I have no idea. Joe Shotzzy's on 5 in a row, and Empire will win the round. They needed an offense. They get it done. They take the advantage in this game 3.
Well, but what was that, Maeve? Is they go for this last second, right? And what does that do? That puts 2 players on the zone, and when they die, Empire, they finish it, and they know those 2 players are coming off spawn. So at times, Ultra, they're usually very disciplined. They back up, they go into their A defense.
Typically they do. They almost always do. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's 0.5 seconds left. They go for it one last time. They overextend. That weakens them up at A. They just get spawn killed. That means 3 on the point, and then I don't know what that was at the end, but Shotzzy made the play.
Yeah, it just feels like you should just always give it up. And maybe they're just thinking if we can hold there, that's the difference between getting, defense round 5. But it's a gamble. It is. I mean, they could have gotten the kills. They could have closed it out 100%. But when you don't, that's what can happen. We've seen it all year long. And now you give a little rhythm, a little momentum to the Empire. Decided that they can close it out on this defense, stay alive in the series, push it to a map 4.
Well, there's the artillery earned by Shotzzy. He's on 6 plus with the objective. He's got enough points. Now, can he find the cruise? You see the bait coming in for Vivid. He's going to try and find that quick trade. Finds the timing. Sure does. There's number 7. There's number 8. Gets away with his life. Just smooth. So smooth in his movements.
And this is why, when Ultra went up 2-0, we were so worried. Because they've been so good in control. It's a difficult win for Empire, but they're so close to getting it done. Just under 40 seconds left on the clock. Shotzzy putting on a Shotzzy clinic as he approaches a double-digit streak. And just look at their position right now. I mean, this might be the push. This is it from Ultra.
Well, yeah. Well, if they die, though, they're getting streaked. So 100%, it has to be clean from Ultra. It may not be. Shotzy's just waiting, trying to take his time. Here we go. Fan's able to find 2. Here come the submachine gun players. It's 3 dead. Crim trying to do what he can. Okay, so they're able to get out, but you still have the streaks. 1 player going to stay at A. The rest, though, over to B. So they're going to force one out, and that player might die. But I think Insight and Vance are going to be okay at that B zone.
And the fact you were able to get onto 2 sites, I mean, tough to hit everything with it. They will take out Cammy with the streak, though. Nice little drop shot from Vance. 5 seconds to go. Somebody's got to get on it. Not able to get there. Nobody close enough. Even though he's hitting the shots, they can't get on the objective. And Empire, they are still alive and fighting. We will get on map 4.
It reminds me of a lot when we saw this team. Ultra just doing unlike Ultra things. Not staying disciplined in that moment. I know 1 second or 0.5 seconds, it is so just attractive to look at. If we're done with this, we win. But what happens is there is a defensive collapse from that. Then guess what? On top of that, it's momentum. Shotzzy, he's going on a spree. Then he earns some streaks. He uses that streak to put that game away, and Empire stay alive.
I don't even know that I'd like call it a bad play. It's a gamble. It's just a gamble in a situation where maybe you don't need to. Because yes, they could have won that 100% without question. They could have closed out that round, but that is the other side of the coin. It just unravels from there, and it's an offensive victory for Empire, and that's the moment that shifts the control. We'll take a look at the stats here, Joe.
Well, Vivid and Shotzzy, they got going. I mean, a beautiful game out of Vivid, 29 kills, 5,100 damage. Shotzzy, he went on his spree. iLLeY and Crim, right around even. On the other side, it was Claynex who struggled a bit on this Garrison Control. Now you get to your hardpoint map pick.
Whew. We've got a hardpoint. Getting ready to come up as Empire finally leave a mark in this series. They get a map win. They get fired up. Can they push us to another incredible map 5 versus Ultra? This is the losers bracket final here for the CDL Major 4. We're back after the break. We've got a series on our hands now in the losers bracket final. I was worried it might be a blowout. I was scared, but it's not. Empire get the map win. As we check out the quick scope here, the stage 5 results by mode, stage 4 results by mode for Ultra and Empire.
Well, I mean, Hardpoint and Search Destroy, you have the obvious advantage here. What's crazy is Control for Toronto Ultra, 5-3. Those 3 losses are here, and I mean, Ultra has that clear advantage in Hardpoint in Search Destroy. I mean, Dallas haven't been pushovers whatsoever. You know, right around 60%. But their control has gotten better. Ultra on the other side, what, 3 losses in a row? But they had such a good start. Now we go to Moscow, where for Dallas Empire, 7-4. This is a map Ultra has not played a lot of. You see bands getting in the zone.
I am actually, with all the Call of Duty I've casted and watched this year, I'm struggling to like picture Ultra playing Moscow. It's been, what was it, 4 or 5 times all year?
5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, I'm struggling to picture it, which usually, you know, when you think about a team in that mode, you can remember one crazy game or something. Like, yeah, they just have not played it a lot. So Maybe a good opening here for Empire to push this to a 5th and final map. And how incredible it would be given the start of the series. You said they haven't been pushovers, but they were in those first 2 maps.
Well, that's true, yeah. Yes, they were.
Yeah, overall, and the stats know they haven't, but they laid over and died in the first 2. They came alive like the Undertaker, back from the dead to win the map 3. Now to Moscow.
Well, we just saw Empire on this, right? And what really worked for them was that second hill in their setups, just making sure they have control of that a little bit differently because they're starting on the bad side right off the break. It's too dead for Toronto Ultra. Insight and Cammy, though, they've been there all day, just always having a response. They do it right there. Is Vivid trying to get aggressive?
Insight, the hero of map 2. Great at just soaking up objective time, but there was trying to contest. Now the spawns get a little interesting. Look at that number 7. All the way out bottom left. 2 spawn top left for Empire, and they're trying to push on through. Cammy's got to pick this up, and he does. Can he get both? Not going to happen as Crim is through on the trade, but the same can be said for Bance on the Ultra side. But it's not a clean setup yet. There's still 8 seconds till the hard point pops. That kill will alleviate some of the pressure.
Yeah, but you get a lot of the time, and you're already middle of the map, so you're going to have a very quick first push. iLLeY was trying to find a timing, but Shotzzy and Crim get taken down. So Vivid's just going to have to wait. He's going to have to wait, and there we go. They do a really good job holding that off. And now they can get into their setup. Watch all the different angles. And Empire, they're going to throw maybe one push towards the back, maybe one towards the front. Here we go. But it's Vance in the window says, nah, not today.
Yeah, I mean, they probably watched that other series and were like, we should just do the opposite of everything that OpTic did on hardpoint number 2.
Or the same thing that Empire did.
Yes, that too. That could be the call. Number 8 in Kleenex is already leaking all the way through towards 3rd with 25 seconds remaining on the hard point, relying on his teammates to hold so he can make the play, and they do just that.
He's through.
King Cammy on a 5 streak.
Yeah, Cammy finds it. They were fighting for the scrap time. That would have been solid, but he is through. So is Bance. They're both in some solid positions, and Empire, I think they have no clue. They have 0 idea. They're just into their setup. They're just into their setup. Well, Vivid's going to give that call out now. They have to reposition Crim. His teammates spotted Kleenex, but you're going to have some early pressure here from Toronto Ultra.
Well, he just rotated so early, right? Like, so early. And trusted in his teammates to get the hold. This is a great job by Empire dealing with what could have been a sketchy situation.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. They had no idea really where those players were. They're able to rotate off of that. They find that information. They pick up the kills. It's exactly what they needed. They needed a response, and they get that here. Still have some pressure towards the front. 3 go down. As soon as I say it's a good job, it's 4 dead in Ultra. They're going to take those 25 seconds away.
Ultra get the break, but in the series, it is Empire that have to respond. They desperately need to get this to a final map with a chance to continue on to a grand final. Let's go to an Astro listen-in with Dallas Empire.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna check the deep left. Dude, nothing deep left that I see.
I'm gonna closet. Closet?
Yo, he's probably on me. For a bus.
Watch out.
Yo, pushing. Dead.
I'm pushing.
I gotta chub you. Fly.
I'm about to try getting to bank. I'm gonna try getting back here.
I'll block.
I need a pillar.
Bank dead.
I'm looking pillar.
I'm in bank.
Pillar, Cammy dead.
Did you push?
Yeah, I got you.
Middle.
Player. There's one PT on your putter.
Here.
Yeah.
There's one PT on your ender.
Or L.
One's cut, by the way.
I'm looking cut.
Look, jumping out, Vance. Watch out.
Looking cut.
Out of me, inside. Fuck, yummy. You're right, guys. Right, and then
Røkkr.
one's the Røkkr.
Yo, Røkkr. Two Røkkr.
That was the guy we're looking for. Rat and
Cammy, weak street. One's pushing up bus, Kleenex.
You'll get
out of bus right now.
I got stuck.
Hold on. I'm gonna try to shoot.
I'm gonna help you guys on this one. Yo, he's right side pillar, one's close left.
Close left.
Looking pillar.
In the bus. You stop bus.
Top.
Bus dead.
Right side,
Weak under.
Cammy dead.
That's a good time.
Okay, yo.
Yo, I'm gonna go new.
Kleenex dead.
Huge win, Ender.
They're not even new.
Look,
SC's inside.
One stop.
He's looking at hill.
One shot close. One shot close.
Try.
Take it down. Yeah, I'm right back.
Other SC's right now. Yeah, going for inside.
One
You guys double SC's.
You come SC's with me.
Someone come SC's.
I'm needing
left.
One's laundry window, Cammy, and one's close under art window.
Left
Under
up,
art window.
Our window might
That guy's
finish.
gonna
I don't
fucking
see him here either.
SC's heading. Dead.
Good shot, let's go.
Watch out. Give me time.
I'm here.
Let's push it out.
Put a shot.
Our window.
Nice.
Plat, got me one shot. Another guy's close. Close left on
Yeah,
you.
close left.
I'm
Watching left.
He's the
Weak
part.
right.
He's player now watching left.
Sure.
Watching left. One ticket.
I don't see anything left.
Band's one shot in this corner.
I'm shooting.
I'm here.
Check it. Nice shot. Clayster, right?
Yeah, plant up.
Yeah, yellow, fuck, pinch.
Just one go,
Take one shot. Absolute.
Oh.
At the start of that show, we were watching it, and there were a couple of unfortunate sequences for Empire, like on a timing standpoint, but they've kept it close. Down 20. This time, oh, they're going to have to break into P2 again, where they were so good in their last series. It's been all Ultra. Oh, that's a nade and a half.
So yeah, there was that moment at Buzzkill. I think it could have been much cleaner for Dallas Empire, but here at P2, they need a break, and what do? They go right down the middle and now towards the front. Ultra still spawning close towards back laundry on the back street, but all the presence is here for Empire. A great job just catching them off guard. iLLeY finds a double kill, and now you can see Insight is all the way across the map with his team.
Tell you what, if they win this map, that might be the moment that really propels them towards it. What a break. And then, yeah, that spawn was so close, so they had to do a second wave, and they handle it spot on from Empire. As they're starting to build their, I guess, kind of first significant lead of the game. It's not much, but Ultra in front for a while. Empire's turn now is they'll get all the time at P2. Everybody tracking back for Ultra. There are 2 players for Empire starting to spread out. Third on his way. Can they get another break?
You're going to have an early pressure here. Insight, though, he's going to hear that mantle up. He's going to hear this one, so he's going to be ready for this next gunfight. The Shotzzy able to take him down. Now, here we go. Shotzzy Crim, the first 2 members flying on through. We'll find opening gunfights with those submachine guns, and they are just trying to move as quick as possible. But it's Cammy and Inside. Of course it is. That shuts it down.
Yeah, I think all headshots for all 3 kills. Just the Krig railing against the Empire players. Is after getting broken, you need to respond with a hold of your own, and they're doing just that. Looking for another lead change with 28 seconds left on the point. Down 10. You'll see the swing coming here, and we'll get back to Boston. Yeah, some unfortunate moments for Empire last time. We'll see if they can clean it up once we get back to it, but there is Ultra back in front.
I think the key was they got Vivid inside a bank, right, last time through. This time, iLLeY's the only closest one over towards gold area. They have no one bank that's going to allow Insight to get on out. Want to put pressure towards this bus side so the ARs can't get out and get angles on the hill. Cammy is here. Cammy, of course, finds a double. Can he find the triple? He's got the read, but iLLeY with a nice response. Look at the spawns. iLLeY gets both of those. It's a close bank spawn, but Bance from the old hill is on a pinch, and this pinch might be perfect. He's going to take his time, find one. Doesn't use a Krig that often. What is this gun? It's a little weird, but his teammates got his back.
And I love just the little trigger discipline to like get to the angle where he could finesse behind the bus for the second player. Like, it's a small thing, but like he shoots right away, he's probably traded. Just waits to get to the bus, gets the kill, able to play his life. His teammates pick up the rest, and they're back in the point. Okay, well, as soon as you say that, it is 3 dead right away. I mean, Empire needed a response. Well, but now this is big, too, because they have the rotation over to P1. So that's the key here is not only do they get the break, but they also have map control. Can you get that chain from P1 to P2 that they did so well last series? We've got a shot to do just that. We'll be down about 25, heading in to our 3rd set of rotations. We get back to mid-map. Everybody street side from old, rotating for Ultra. Is Empire trying to get all the angles to slow this down? The first player, they get the pick, but then it's all the Krigs again. It's Cammy and Insight both find kills. That gets them an opening to contest the point. Well, it gets them opening, but they push up the street and they flip spawn. So Bance is going to spawn at the second hill. iLLeY trying to get behind some cover to at least contest shots. He's going to do it this time, trying to get trophies down. They're going to contest for now. It's a 13-point game. 27 seconds left. Behind those kills, Empire trying to find an opening. No opening given to them because every time they have numbers, there's a Krig with a response. Yeah, I mean, you were able to contest and flip, and the whole story you're selling about how good Empire were at, they're not even really going to get a chance. They're going to have to break again, which they have done. They did it last time, and I thought that'd be the moment that might propel them. They're going to have to do it again. Empire in the lead by 5. Ultra with the setup at P2. This might be the moment of the game. Insight, he's going to get taken down, but he gets all the info that the push is towards laundry side. You have 2 players. And what iLLeY is going to do is he's going to spot up and put pressure on the front. So they're going to wait for him. Now we fly. 2 dead. Still close spawns.
25 and 14 from Insight, 28 and 18 from Cammy, and they have just been lighting up the feed when they need them. When they need them most, and they hold on.
You got that first kill. I'm thinking go time too, and instantly Insight gets 2 kills. He's now on 4 in a row. What a series this young man is having. Rookie in the Call of Duty League, 27 and 15, and then King Cammy right there with him, 29 and 18. What a monster he has been. 24 more points, and they're back to a final. But Empire, they still got some life.
Okay, Shotzzy sneaks on through. He's able to take down 2. But while there's an opening on one side, there's an opening on the other. So they could have been up to about 240, but Shotzzy, he gets some of that time and gets him off of it. And now they have a really good setup. Empire can win it here. You have Crim on the hill. You have Vivid inside of gold. All of the push for the most part is towards the front. Bance is going all the way around. That is the one key, but Vivid's going to know it now. He's going to give that information to his team.
Crim was winning fight after fight. Finally, he drops, but iLLeY with the second AR there to clean it up. Now the pinch from Bance, and iLLeY picking it up beautifully, but a nice nade and shots from Bance. Is he still being a threat? But all this time, the way of Empire now in front. The lead changed to Empire, and still the opportunity to close it out. But if he just gets the contest here for a moment,
not enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. I thought a couple more seconds.
That's what they were trying to play for. They were trying to play for it.
Oh no. Oh no, Empire, they can push it to a map 5. There's still enough time on the hard point. Ultra got to get in for a contest for another second, but the crossfire is there, and Empire take the map 4. We're headed to another map 5 between these two teams. How the hell did we get there after the first 2 maps?
Unreal composure from Empire. I'll tell you what though, Shotzzy, that play to sneak up and kill 2, they got them off the time, but he also gave himself, what, 5 seconds? That 5 seconds is the difference from us going to another hill, right? I mean, Bance gets a contest for a couple, but they hold on strong. But not only that, Shotzzy, he kills them. That means we're spawning out at old. The other 2 players from Ultra, they get caught on rotation. That just earns them so much time at the next hill.
Wow. Some of the hard points between these 2 teams have just been incredible. The map 1 from the first series and the map 4 here, a thriller. What an incredible break at P2 earlier in the game it was to give Dallas a chance, and then the hold there. Yeah, I mean, you said there were a couple of factors. A lot of things had to go down for them to get the win there and the point, and it happens. Unbelievable composure out of Dallas Empire to get this to a map 5 after just getting taken to school during the first 2 maps. And it's just a testament to this game and its strengths in various modes and maps. You get blown out like that and you're still going to a map 5. It is remarkable stuff.
No, I mean, Toronto Ultra, the slaying there again, but just some key breaks. Yeah, that Empire able to just push on through. They found moments. They found moments, whether it's the bus hill, whether it's that bus hill where as soon as they get broken, they respond with a full break, or just that last one, that last play by Shotzzy cannot be understated enough. What that does for them and gets them set up at the 3rd hill, it gives them a couple more seconds. Those seconds allow them to win.
What a map between these 2 teams, both just trying so hard to get to the final and a chance for that first place $200,000. But it is all fire and fury out of Dallas Empire. They've gotten us to a map 5. Do not go anywhere. It's coming up.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Dallas Empire have smashed the gates open.
Stella with the round one ace.
Oh, it's a shot punch. Oh no! Once again, they saved the day. Boy, oh boy, what a slaughter that was of Cammy on a bit of a tear now. God dang, Ultra are looking fine. The battle for the North is already off to a great start.
Strong start from Toronto.
Toronto have just taken the major. They truly are Ultra and...
Empire and Ultra to a map 5. Winner to face FaZe in the final. Map 5s are different. Let's talk about their map 5 so far this season.
Well, Empire 8-6. I mean, very good defensively. On the other side for Ultra, 5-7. Good on attack. The key here is, though, is that when it comes between these two teams, a couple of days ago, map 5, round 11, Toronto Ultra came out on top. It was this map. We're staying on Moscow. And everyone was right around even. The only player that stands out to me that struggled for Empire was Vivid. 4-9. You had double digits out of bans. iLLeY and Shotzzy both with 9 kills. I mean, it was such a close game. Talk about those adjustments. See what Empire learned from that first map.
Ooh, and for Empire, I mean, it's just when you talk about Moscow, I mean, they're what? I think 1-5, and I know it's you can't really use the year stats that much because the team's been changing so much recently, but you haven't had a ton of success there. But you lose it in the round 11 fashion like you did. You can learn from that. I gotta imagine with Rambo that night, they're talking things through. They're prepping for this series. It's in the rotation again for a reason. What do they have up their sleeves? Because they're gonna need it here against Ultra. It all comes down to this.
I mean, this just reminds me of like stage 1 and stage 2 Empire, right? Just like finding these incredible clutch plays to put them in these top 3, right? Top 4 positions, a chance to make another final. Shotzzy doing it there. Their composure throughout this entire major. Get us to this game 5.
I think who I'm looking at the most, I know you mentioned Vivid had that struggle, but if you're iLLeY, that map 2 had to be painful, right? You start out like 0-7. You finally get a kill. Try to get it rolling here if you can, but Bancy, you said, was on double digits last time. He's going to open things up with the first blood.
Yeah, just trying to find something. Nice back down from Cammy. Do not make this into a 3v3. You know, maybe a bit of a hard counter. Trying to throw them something a little different. Shotzzy with some aggression, but it's going to be an A-hit. It's going to be an A-hit. Vivid able to take down 1, but he's going to get caught. The nade is there. Did a set up Crim, but numbers. The numbers favor Ultra with that first blood. Now, you talked about iLLeY. Can he clutch this 1v2?
He's had a 1v2 clutch on this map. Can he do it again? Well, maybe not. He's hit the 27 immediately. They're going to fly forward. They'll hunt him down, and Ultra close it out. Add the numbers on the site. They do it efficiently. They take the round 1. Vance started us off with a nice first blood.
Just the read on the shots he's ready for, and obviously he's going to hear that audio cue. But, you know, Dallas, they did some prep. They tried to throw a little counter in. Catch them with some aggression. Instead, it's the opposite. It's Shotzzy getting caught with that man advantage. They win the round.
Well, this is the one you were breaking down so well. I mean, I literally was having fun listening to it last time they played on this map. Just some of the extra aggression you'd see towards bomb sites, trying to catch somebody. I mean, they were really going back and forth and both trying to adapt to the other's changes in play styles. I think we're in for that again here, but Ultra get going first. And they'll do this a lot. Vance and Kleenex on this side will get aggressive. We saw it the last time they played. Crim just cannot get caught. Remember that? They had a round they pushed the entire way through to hunt somebody down.
And they're actually doing it, but Crim, he repositions, and he's going to find that first blood. Meanwhile, he gives his teammates all the info that they're there. They're planning at B. Here's the thing, though. Crim cannot stay isolated for this long. So he's wasting their time. But what they could do is just take the 3-on-3 on the site. That's going to be the call. Crim, though, is going to work through the middle of the map. iLLeY watching over him. As well, Insight's just been waiting. He's like, when are my teammates going to get here? They might not ever get there because iLLeY's got the street locked down.
Yeah, I mean, the time wasted by Crim, and then, yeah, iLLeY. It is his street. iLLeY street. Empire. Tie us up at 1-1.
Well, and you know, this doesn't surprise me because when you look back at that game 5, it was a lot of map control given to the offense. To the middle of the map, it was rotations, and then 4v2s, 4v3s that they were winning on the side. So what have both defenses done? They've tried to take a risk to give them some map pressure and really just slow down the offensive rounds. But what, on one side, it's Bance catching Shotzzy. This time it was Crim dodging both nades, getting the first blood onto Bance.
Now let's see if any of these changes come into play. There's a heavy mid-map presence defensively for Empire. 3 players sending it across, and Cammy just barely gets out with his life.
And now it's maybe Insight who's trying to get caught, and I think a tactical, he's 1 bullet though. Meanwhile, Bomb's trying to push on through. Who's the player? It's iLLeY. Crim watching over him. There's one of these adjustments. They get aggressive through Eskies. Nice shots by the Krigs. Cammy not going to bring it back, and that was clean. One of the cleaner defenses we've seen all week.
100%. Back-to-back rounds for Empire. They don't lose anybody. It's Crim, the statue, the turret at mid-map. Putting him down. Cammy's chow there. Yeah, they're thinking they're like a 2v4. He's like, I got to world star somebody and get this going if we're going to win the round. But Crim will take the gunfight. Vivid already has as many kills as he did in that round 11. Or sorry, game 5, round 11 they lost last time.
Well, what, Inside 0-3. You know, it can be tough because a lot of the times if team doesn't have the advantage, you're the AR trying to rotate into these bomb sites, and it's just a trap. But he's locking down mid. You have 1 player at B. Well, Nice, he just looks out the window. He gets all this information. Is he going to rotate off of this, play the retake? Maybe he didn't spot them. He backs on down. He's trying to play defense here. Somehow, a player able to get out with their life. That was Shotzzy who gets away.
Yes. If that's anyone else, they're dead. That reaction to back down was insane.
Okay, but they're setting up a pinch. They're setting up a pinch. They're trying to wait for Vivid to make the play. They're waiting for number 1. He's here, but is it too late? Oh, he gets all that info, and Shotzi's just going to go plant the bomb. Okay, so now he's found out. They're going to go to A.
Now, what can Vivid do? On how to Ultra play this. Does Vivid get a chance to catch one on the cross? Looks like they're all going to be hitting up through mid. Does he get the timing right? Thought he might reflank it through mid. He's going to back up towards the A site. Unfortunately, Shotzzy drops by times he gets there. Vivid a chance to be the hero. There's the first. Gets away with his life. 25 seconds to go, and Kleenex is going to hop it. The next gunfight, the health hasn't regened, and Insight from 0-3 to 3-3. A massive round to tie us up.
Well, it's just the pace inside of B. It's Kleenex with Insight with the first blood. Kleenex, he gets dropped, and then just working the street, working the picks as these players try to get out of this. And I thought Crim here, if he's a little more patient, Vivid just needs a few more seconds. You know, he's obviously trying to catch a player running at him, but he shoulders that. He gets caught. What,
I don't know if I call that a
three
shoulder.
more seconds? I don't know. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But if he wins for Vivid, they might have the round win.
Yeah.
If it doesn't take the shots, well, Ultra, clutch on up.
Holy moly, I love a good game 5.
Who does it? Especially between these two, right? Just like so fun to watch the way they adjust.
Yeah. Well, they had 3. Well, they have 3 still stacked up at A for Empire. Shotzzy, kind of the transition man. He's starting to float across towards B. Ultra have already gotten inside. Shotzzy, though, he transitions across. He gets the first blood. He makes this a nightmare for Ultra.
Well, Cammy's lurking. But this entire time, Crim is waiting. Just what kind of timing will Crim get onto Cammy? And it's beautiful timing. He did not allow that Vivid flank that we just saw last round come into play. He knows if he's still there, because there's nobody mid-map, they can rotate to A, and he's waiting the entire time SC just wins both gunfights.
Yeah, and it's good patience, good discipline. Shotzzy's the guy that floats the other side and gets the first blood. Crim just locks it down. And I mean, you nailed it. It could have been a really unfortunate sequence, but it's the exact opposite. Oh, that hipfire hit too. I was gonna say, he incinerated him. That explains it.
It was just that bullet, but yeah, he knows none of my teammates are mid-map. What did they do a lot last time? It was a lot of B hits and going back to middle up towards A. And you know, it's a bit of a gamble when you have a man advantage, but sometimes Crim takes those gambles, and that's why he's 7-2.
Sometimes?
Okay, most all the time.
They're working their way up through court. It's right up Eskies they go. They have numbers here. It's a 2-2 split defensively for Ultra. How efficient and Bance and Clean XB. And now they know the push is coming as the nade hits. Up through mid. Cammy is coming. Cammy's getting there for the help. I was going to say, I don't know if they need it if CleanX gets 2, but it's only going to be 1. iLLeY will have a 1-on-1 in mid-map with Insight. There's still the skirmish going on towards the point as well. And the time just being wasted here by Insight to make sure that iLLeY can't get over and help. I mean, he was just pre-aimed there at the block for 20 seconds.
Just wasting time. He knew his teammates were in a 2v1. He didn't want to get caught. Put his team into a bad spot. Now iLLeY in another 1v2. He was trying to work just a late flank again through mid. And well, they hold on. And what's a little different here, a lot of the times when you come up Eskies, the way you sort of attack this site is a slide out to the bomb. But that doesn't happen. You want to put pressure on that player who's out on the outer stairs to look that way so you can work up statue. But Vivid is the first one to, you know, kind of wide peek. They put nobody towards the bomb. That just makes it easy for Bance.
Yeah, for Insight, though, you say sometimes, like, sometimes it's just a good time to put your controller down and do nothing. That was one of those times. Like, just laid there. Don't do anything. Waste time. As we continue to go back and forth between these two squads. So close to a berth and a championship fight versus FaZe. Grim, again on the site. There are more here to deal with. That nade not going to help. Out of bounds. Not back in bounds because there's nades everywhere. He drops. His teammates finding kills, though. Cammy, 1 versus 3. And does that sequence just look hellish from Crim's POV?
It just reminds me of someone who went out of bounds recently and didn't get back in. But, yeah, he had to dodge some nades and...
Oh, you're talking about me?
Wasted time. but he finds the kills. He wastes time. His teammates were there for the A hit. Cammy was working, working around. Him and iLLeY kind of been doing the same thing offensively, just trying to find some openings.
Swap the win, but the trade is there. Don't give him a chance to win a one-on-one. Couple nice gunfight wins for Cammy, but simply too many Empire players to deal with. Good position from Vivid through on the trade as he is having a much, much better map than he did the last time they faced off at a map 5.
And I really liked what Empire did middle of the map last offense. I just wish they would hit it either towards mid or towards B because there's normally been a 3-stack at A for Toronto Ultra. Even if they're in a 2-2 split, that works because that would have caught them off guard last time. And it looks like they might go back to that. You will have Insight, though, just kind of mid-platform. He might just be playing info and just backing on up, and that's exactly what he does.
You can see the bomb. It's in iLLeY's hands this round, and he's all the way out street side. And it's just the information game now. Try to get the info. Pick where you're going to work. Top Eskies, going to be the play call. It's once again going to be on CleanX and Vance.
Gotta attack from bomb first. They do it this time. That forces CleanX off of his spot, just trying to regen. There's no trade. It's not quick enough. Now the reinforcements are here from Ultra. iLLeY on the bomb. But just like Crim did, CleanX is alive still. Now it's a 1v4 for Vivid. He's able to make it a 1v2.
Yeah,
the time working against him. He's got the Krieg out. He's on 4 in a row. CleanX just worked out wide. He's not going to be ready for his position. This should be a freebie, and it is.
Cleanex with the monster round. I mean, yes, there's a moment there.
Nobody
it's a brief
went.
one. Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a moment where it's just the two of them, right? And that changes in a matter of, let's say, 10 seconds. The fact that Cleanex gets the kill, gets away clean, and those 10 seconds pass, you're from a 4-on-2 to a 3-on-4. It just flips on its head completely, and I don't know who's that on, but yeah, it can't go down like that.
Well, and it looked like Vivid pulled out a Krig. I know he's been having some trouble in that area, but maybe usually he's the guy to hit that outer with a 74U, and then him having that Krig maybe switches it up. So they were trying to work some picks with ARs that ends up messing with their timing. Is Vivid now back to the 74U, just waiting for this hit. This is going to either be great timing or bad, and it turns out to be excellent timing as he finds 2, bomb down up to 11 kills.
Yeah, Vivid continues the monster map, and what a mighty performance it has been from him. I know he's probably catching some flack with how it started with his team, but he has stepped up to the plate in such a huge way at this major.
Uh-oh.
Empire finally looking like a team to beat, but is right. Oh no! He doesn't finish the second. He doesn't finish it, and Crim gets the kill. Instead of a 2-on-1 for Ultra, it's a 2-on-1 for Empire. But that's a little snap and a beat from Insight down to a 1v1 with 30 seconds to go. Shotzzy versus the rookie.
Well, he should play this angle because he'll hear the mantle. He knows he has bomb down in window. So he's just playing around the audio cues. Insight, not a lot of time to work with. He's got to go. Shotzzy just watching one doorway. Now he's going to peek the other. He times it perfectly. And Cammy, oh man, he's going to want that back. But for Empire, how does that even happen? There are a lot of the times they try to set that play up, but it starts with Vivid getting 2. There's a lot of times you don't expect that player in there.
That was just a roller coaster of emotions because it went from like, this is a round win for Empire to, oh my God, Cammy's going to make the play. Then, oh God, Shotzzy's got to play. That was an insane round. But when it's all said and done, match point for Empire, Ultra. Need a round win here to get us to another round 11 between these two squads. And on Moscow once again.
Okay, you have this same setup where you can show some presence towards B. Cammy, though, is a little bit pushed up. Playing some timings here. Flash is being broke. He's going to call that out. They're not showing towards the B street. Right now, they might just go right up Eskies towards A. Insight's going to be caught again. Vivid has this Krig. So when is the pressure going to apply to these players? It's going to be Shotzzy and iLLeY, the first 2 to slide to the bomb. Can they deal with Cleanex? He's been so strong here.
They're out. I thought that they might be transitioning. Cleanex gets tagged heavily.
They're not sure. Yeah, they want to do it.
We're not sure. They're not sure. I don't know what's happening, but the pressure obviously at an all-time high for these squads. Can Cleanex and Bance be the heroes Ultra need again? There's the slide. There's the bait and switch. Beautifully done. Shotzzy and iLLeY get in. Insight, though, still set up in the back. It's a 2v3 for Ultra. Cammy's going to get caught. It's all on Insight. And he's done. Empire shows some of the greatest resilience we have ever seen in Call of Duty. To get blown out the way they did in maps 1 and 2, and to come back with that reverse sweep. Incredible.
I mean, we were wondering last time what happened. Where was the aggression on offense? Nobody was going for Empire, and it collapsed. That time, though, my man iLLeY, that movement looked horrible to deal with. I mean, he saw him fly through. He times the slide. He gets behind one. Shotzzy's there for the trade. It's a bait and switch. It's done beautifully. And for Toronto Ultra, I mean, you can see how frustrated they are. They had their opportunities. But Empire, you said it. What a comeback.
Listen, I'm sure there's been something like it. I've been commentating like 8 years now. It just isn't common to see. At one point during this match, I said they were making them look like an amateur team. It's a 250 to 69. What could have been a 6-0 ends up being a 6-2 in the search. It was not competitive at all. Ultra were having their way with them. To come back like that and rip off 3 maps straight, it's remarkable. It's nothing short of remarkable.
But what's the difference here? Right? For me, it's Ultra's control, where they were so good, so disciplined, they lose 3 in a row. Where they were so tough to beat, besides Atlanta FaZe, especially on Garrison, they had a chance to win this series, not allow Empire to get to their hard point.
Yeah, you've said it.
They've
said
struggled.
It during the series. You said multiple times, like the person winning the event has been so good in control. They haven't been this weekend, and it's going to cost them. Empire will move on. Look at that energy. They are pumped up. What a comeback. One of the more impressive reverse sweeps you are ever going to see to bring it back from 0-2 in that fashion. But that's got to sting. You feel for the Ultra guys. They are an incredible team, but that one's going to hurt.
No, 100%. You know, obviously they say they have some things to work on. Still a lot of year left. They have another major. We got champs. And this team is going to be a part of that. They are going to compete at the highest level like we've seen. There's a couple of mistakes which we aren't used to them really making. And here's a look at the stats. Vivid, man. What a difference. From Game 5 last time, 4 kills. Game 5 this time versus Ultra, 12. Him and Crim put up double digits.
Unbelievable. Just truly unbelievable. Yeah, from 4-9 to 12-5 for Vivid. What a turnaround in the same map and mode. In a same series with the same team, but with so much more pressure on it, right? Like so much more pressure in that game, and he's able to do it. It's just, you got to feel happy for Vivid. You know, it's a tough spot to come into a team this late in the season to figure out how to play within their system, but bit by bit, he's done it. And now you're just wondering, have Empire started to get to that point where they are going to be a threat every match, every tournament? Let's check out the scuff play of the game from that incredible Game 5. That was fun. Ooh.
Sure was. It's going to be this last round. So the whole time, Cammy's just kind of waiting on what's happening, and you have this 2-man setup. And with Vivid spotting insight towards back plat, it felt like Dallas were going to rotate off of this, but Crim hit some shots on Clayster. And look at this. Watch this 2-man movement. Yeah, Bance is like, okay. I mean, I shot, and that's it. And then Shotzzy gets the trade, and iLLeY's behind his teammate. There's nothing that Clayster can do because that movement is just so darn good from the subs. And well, then it's on Cammy and Insight, and they just don't have the positions, the manpower too strong for Empire. And we talked about learning from their last Game 5, but Vivid, I don't know if he had a Krieg last time through, but him with the Krieg on this map, he looks much more comfortable in the role he has to play.
Unbelievable. We're going to take a look at the Astro social soundboard. That's what it takes to be champions. Resilience when nothing is going your way. Incredible series from Shotzzy and the Dallas Empire. Yes, I don't want to overstate it, but that is one of the better testaments to resilience I've seen while I'm casting. Just that was impressive stuff from Empire. Now, how much did that take out of him? These last 2 series, you know, you had the energy and the hype around a match versus OpTic. You have that series too. What's left in the tank in a long best of 9 versus FaZe?
That better be a lot because now you got Atlanta FaZe to go up against. Really, I mean, I know they've gotten through these 2 series, but there is a Titan on the other side of this.
Well, we hope you're enjoying the show. We're going to see if Empire can take down the Titans that are FaZe on the tail end of this. We've got 1 match left to go. The winner taking home $200,000. It is Major 4 for the Call of Duty League. We'll be right back.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. What a series of events, folks. Empire grind on through and make it for the final matchup of the day. They face FaZe for the first time at this major on that very stage. Now, if you're wondering how it's all gone down today, well, we do have the bracket for you. It was absolutely epic. The elimination finals. We are here, Nameless. We're here, man. Ultra versus Empire ended in tears for Ultra on the main stage. 3-2. Empire take them down in that epic search and destroy. Oh my goodness, that was actually incredible. We have our tournament final sat pretty right there. FaZe versus Empire coming up very shortly. I gotta say, gents, that really was an epic series. So we do also have the money on the line. $500,000 prize.
Not bad.
Woo! Not bad, is it? Someone's bringing that bag home, that first place. $200,000 for first place. That's a lot to play for, including pride here as well. Amazing series, really, really, really good. Ultra made it seem too easy at the start with maps 1 and 2, but Empire persevering, bouncing back, grinding on through, showing why they deserve to be where they're at right now. Absolutely outstanding performance out of all of the Empire guys, especially Shotzzy. Yep. I've got to ask you though, Nameless, what does that really tell you about both of these teams we saw in this series?
Yeah, I mean, that was an insane performance on both ends. But for Dallas, I mean, the resilience to be able to come back after those first two maps is unbelievable. And it comes off the back of a guy named Vivid. He went off in that control. And for Banta Kleenex, I mean, they were getting shut down. You saw usually, you know, Toronto, they're able to be a nuisance in your base. They frustrate you and bleed that clock out when it comes to control. They were not able to do that against Dallas. And then throughout the rest of the series, I mean, you just see when their backs were put up against the wall, somebody was able to make a big play. Vivid with the huge two-piece in the beginning of the search and destroy in the latter half of that map. I mean, it's just huge in the final moments of the Hardpoint Game 4, the plays that Shotzzy makes. He goes rogue on a solo mission and gets those kills to get that remaining time and go into the rotation. It's just incredible what Dallas was able to do this weekend.
Yeah, watching both of those teams in that series, like, that was great from start to finish. Obviously, if you tuned in early to that, you were thinking that Dallas was going to get 3-0. Like, yeah, that was a beating. And that first map, even after that second map, it just looked like Toronto were the way better team. But they bounced back, man, and that's where having a veteran player like Crimsix, a guy that has done this for multiple years now, can really step up to the plate. He slows down the teammates and allows his submachine gun players to really just take off. Like Nameless said, they turned up in that control to at least stay in the series, but then they go on to that map 4 on Moscow, where Toronto, they only played it 5 times, making 6 now with that loss being there, but that hasn't been a map that they really enjoyed the entire time. And the way that Shotzzy was able to make that late game play to make it for them to get to that Game 5 wasn't the same, man. The SMGs just really took over in the second half of that series.
You know what, Stud? Let's just get straight into it, my dude, because we have to break down that very play. You know, Shotzzy, keeping them alive with that epic play on Moscow Hardpoint. What really went down?
Yeah, so we gotta just talk about it, man, because that was an insane play. Obviously, you're going to have Toronto with the early rotations towards that P2. And then with about 20 seconds left, you see a couple players from Dallas starting to hit that rotation because they know they have to make sure that they are able to get in that position. But Shotzzy, he's that player that's still going to put himself in a position to get that 2-piece. And after he picks up those 2 kills, it's going to force those players on the side of Toronto to be slower off the rotation. So the 2 guys that were already trying to push their way over the P3, they get soloed out. Dallas are able to eliminate that. So right now, Dallas are fully controlled. They're controlling the spawns. It's all about just making sure you're picking up kill after kill as they're trying to flood through the front. And this is just something that Dallas were able to do. Without Shotzzy in this play, Ultra are a lot closer to winning this game. It's a lot more pressure situation for Dallas, but he hits that junk time, and now his team eventually takes this lead. And this is basically one more push right here for Toronto. You see how Bance is able to sneak his way onto this contest point, but they realize that all we have to do is kill this guy. We still put ourselves in a position to win this game off of this hard point. And once they eliminate him, that's going to be 3 down. Last player is going to be in their L. Eventually, that guy drops as well, with some great team shots from Crimsix and Shotzzy. And, like, if you're Toronto, man, that's a difficult way to lose. If Shotzzy doesn't make that play off the pinch to go for that P2 to kill both of those players to spawn them all the way out, they probably have a chance at closing it out there. But Dallas shows that ice in their veins, man, to close it out.
Something to note is just how many engagements iLLeY and Crim had. They were leading their team in engagements, which is just them just showing that aggression, allowing Shotzzy to make plays like that and take his time. And without him getting that scrap time, they wouldn't have been able to win off that hill. Would have been pushed to one more. So huge plays all around to get the dub.
Yeah, definitely. They realized they had to step their game up if they wanted to beat Ultra, and they did just that. It was absolutely amazing. Well, I'll tell you what, though, we have Jess right now on standby with Coach Crowder from Atlanta FaZe to get his thoughts and feelings before their major finals.
Thanks so much. So, here we are, CDL Sunday. There's a lot on the line, but I mean, what has been the main focus? Like, what specific game modes or anything like that have you guys been preparing on?
Honestly, we've just been trying to work on some of our search plays and just make sure we're on the same page with some of the post-plant setups and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, just kind of doing what we're doing. We're playing really well. I'm really proud of how hard they've worked and how far they've come. So kind of keep it consistent and just do their thing.
You definitely should be proud. And, here on LAN, it is a little bit of a different environment. Has there been anything that you guys have adjusted playstyle-wise specific to kind of going from online to a LAN setting?
I'm not really a big believer in the online to LAN kind of thing. I think a lot of that's just like all in your head. And we've kind of preached that from the start of this year, and now coming here to LAN, like they're just doing the same thing, just really being confident in their game and just playing as a team. And then when you do that, I think anything kind of flows for you.
Cool. Very well said. Well, thank you so much. Back on over to the desk.
Well, we have two incredible teams in this final, and we're actually going to be handing out the player of the stage at the end of the day. So, gents, I want kind of your intel here. Who are your top 4 player of the stage picks, do you think, heading into this one?
All right, so it's up in there, right? One of these players can dominate the series and take it away, but I'm going to go Cell, Shotzzy, Simp, and Crim. Those 4 players for me, 2 from each team, have just been fine. They've all stepped it up. You look at Crim, he started to play so much better. It's made it way easier for Empire, and then Shotzzy, he's so elusive around the map. Cellium with a massive play that we saw yesterday, and Simp, the guy's super versatile. He does it every single series.
Yeah, my top 4, they look a little similar. I just have one little different piece. So we're going to start with number 1. I'm also going to go Cellium because the guy just clutched up for his team yesterday. It's a really difficult task when you're by yourself over a rotation and get a multi-kill. So we're going to start with Cellium. And second, we're going to have Crimsix, man, because this is a veteran. This is a legend to the scene, man. The most winning COD player of all time. And he finds himself in another grand finals. Even with the roster changes that they went through the entire stage 4. It didn't look like they would be in this position, but now that they are. And then you have Shotzzy, the MVP submachine gun for Dallas. He's been playing great all weekend. But the last play for me is going to be aBeZy. And the reason why is because I just love the pace that he plays for Atlanta. It allows all of his other teammates to just go out and do whatever they want. Because aBeZy, he's going to have everyone weak in all of his engagements.
It's a tough choice, guys, because the jury's still definitely out, especially before this final. But don't forget, folks, we're going to be celebrating the player of the stage powered by Astro Gaming after the match. We've seen a ton of incredibly talented players stepping up to the plate this season. So far, it's going to be a tough call. It really is. Look at all of these incredible teams with incredible rosters. So make sure you tune in a bit later on to find out who that's going to be. Well, here we go, folks. The entire stage and the entire week comes down to this series. It's best of 9, 4 teams apiece, and 1 chance to do it. Right after the break, we have your major 4 finals presented by Game Fuel. Dallas Empire versus Atlanta FaZe.